Hi guys, I first of all want to just say thank you very much to all of my new subscribers. I really appreciate you coming and joining my channel. Basically, yes, a special thank you to all of you who've supported me recently by buying my music. I really appreciate it because YouTube's really sort of killed my releasing system. So I don't make any money out of monetization like I used to. It shut down like 13 or 14 different channels that I work on, bits in the background and everything, so it's been really irritating, but then again that doesn't matter because I'm going to continue working and I'm going to continue pumping out music because that's kind of what I do in the background. But anyway, what I'm thinking of doing is reducing the price of my discography. I mean, I bumped it down to 70% off for Halloween last year, or was it 80? I can't remember quite, but it's currently hovering around 50% off to buy every track that I've got up on there, and that's not every track that I've written, but it's a considerable amount of tracks, and considering the value, it's not bad considering it's all royalty-free stock music that you can use in anything forever, you know. So if you do want to support me by doing that, that's fine. But then again, the purpose of this channel is so that you guys can have that music for free. All you got to do is rip and download it. So you know, so if you just want to support me, that's the only reason that you'd have that, if that makes sense. Anyway, I just want to ask a couple of favours of you. First of all, I was in a film recently. It's called Mask of Thorn. I know that this is my music channel, but I worked with Mycho Entertainment, and I really had an amazing time working on Mask of Thorn. I met some amazing people, and I had my first romance scene, and I also got to die. I mean, what more do you want? I mean, that's more romance than I've had in the past God knows how long, but you know, that's life, isn't it? Anyway, I was really happy working on Mask of Thorn, and I got to meet a huge plethora of brilliant actors and brilliant people. So if you're interested in checking out the trailer or finding out a bit more about Mike, I'll leave you the trailer and information in the information bar below, and I'll leave you a link to the website as well. Now, Mycho are an absolutely incredible organisation, and they do so much to support the independent film industry, and not only that, they support women in horror, and this is something which modern horror seems to be forgetting. What they do is they focus on trying to create really good female characters. So basically, they're very good, and they're promoting women, and I really like what they do, so definitely check them out. Another thing I'd really like you to check out if you haven't already, and thank you very much to Weird City Citizen, who is one of my long-time favourite people who comments on my videos. I mean, I do notice the comments, and but Weird City Citizen's the one which I know the best out of all of you. So if you leave a comment, I'll always try and get back to you, even if it's just a couple of words. But anyway, I've worked on an independent science fiction series that I'm making. I might have to wrap it up very soon. I don't know whether or not I will have to, but I'm really hoping that I don't have to, because I've got some really good ideas for it. The problem is cost, but then again, anything that you do to help support me financially, that will help work on my sci-fi series. But anyway, if you're interested in checking out my science fiction series or any of the work which I've been doing in that regard, there's a link in the description which will take you to the pilot, which will take you to the other 2 episodes which I've made. And my original plan was to make 12 episodes, but that's proving really hard, so it might go as low as 6. But what I'm going to be trying to do is increasing the quality of each episode. I've also been working with a huge amount of people recently. I mean, at my workplace, I'm currently working for 21 clients at the moment, and on top of that, I've got a couple of people who are I'm doing game music for. I've got a couple of people who I'm also doing film music for, and on top of all of that, I know it sounds like a little bit much, I'm also doing work for a restaurant as a photographer, and a couple of other things here and there, and I also help promote them online, which is really good. The one thing I can't seem to promote online very well is myself. I hate selling myself. It's one of the few things that really makes me cringe. I mean, I hate also asking for money for people. That's horrible. But then again, you know, I mean, there's quite a few YouTubers that do it now, so I'm starting to feel a bit more confident about that sort of thing. Anyway, I hope you guys are all doing really well anyway, and I really appreciate the fact that you're supporting me. I've been working on so many different things. It's just been massive recently, and it's just like been sort of never ending. I've also got this brilliant idea for a website that I'm starting to create and work on. I'm trying to do a little bit here and there every day, every couple of days, just so that I've got a nice bulk of work that I can put out and I can promote. But then again, that's something completely different. In regards to like the work which I'm creating at the moment, oh yeah, I'm also working on an online game sort of, which is really quite cool as well. So everything's really busy. But as usual, I don't generally work for money. I work for free and put my stuff out there and try and give to people, which I think is really important. Because the thing is, it's like when I started out, I'll give you a bit of history actually if you want to know a bit about me. I might just do a big history video on it, or I'll talk about everything. But I basically started making. I wanted to make a sci-fi series when I was like 17 years old, so I started writing, and then I started making it. I think I was about 21, 22. It's really hard to sort of work on it. I mean, I'm not happy with what I made. It makes me cringe inside, you know. It really does, because I look at it and I think, oh my god. Basically, what I'd done is I wrote a good series with a good plot, and it was pretty good. I'm using good a lot here, but it was pretty well calculated, I should say, in terms of how the characters would interact and work together. And it was all coming up to the point where I could actually work on a second series, and people would like the plot enough to continue with it. The only problem was making the series, because each episode was about 20 minutes long, and the quality wasn't great. So when episode 1 came out, like half of my cast dropped away, and the big problem with that was that a large amount of them had come to me and said, I want to be in this. This is a really good idea. So we talked with them, and I basically wrote them into the script, and it became this great big lattice of complication. So everything that's actually said in them is meant to come to a giant conclusion. But I ended up scrapping it because the fact of the matter is I didn't get the support which I needed in order to continue the series. I mean, that's the problem with being poor. You don't you don't have the ability to actually control your life in that way. Now, in regards to what I was working on with it, I didn't have any music at all, and it was absolutely crazy because I thought, right, I'm going to get a keyboard. I'm going to play my music myself, and I played it, and it was awful. I was a terrible keyboard player, and then I started practicing, and I got a few synths. I got my Mycho, which I've since permanently lent it to one of my friends, which is cool because he's actually a good musician. I'm not. I'm just a hack. Trust me, I'm a hack. He is a really good musician. His name's Francis, and he is going to be a god one day. Anyway, getting back to all of this sort of stuff. Basically, I was stuck in like this giant sort of well where I needed to make my own music, and I was starting to make music and churning it out, and I ended up putting some of my samples towards this company, Low Budget Pictures, which is run by a guy called Chris Seaver, and he's absolutely brilliant. I really love Chris. He's a wonderful person, wonderful guy. He's really cheerful and a little bit crazy. I say a little bit. He's absolutely completely balmy, but he is a great human being, and through him I met loads and loads of great people. I've not really met many of them because I haven't met them in real life, but you know, you get to know people over the internet, over Facebook, and it's really good because they're all great people, and they've actually really been there, the LBP people, for a large part of my life, which has been really great. So you know, basically that was my first sort of foray into music, and I was starting to get good. I was starting to enjoy playing. I did a load of videos which actually get a lot more than my royalty-free music, and some of them are terrible. I hate my old videos, but I've got this thing in my head where I just think I'm not going to delete anything that I've put up because this is who I was. This is who I've become. You know what I mean? It's like you start off at the beginning, you create stuff, you become better, and people will look back at the stuff and they'll say, "Oh God, he was crap in the beginning." But in a way, it's kind of inspiring, I think, because what you've got a situation where you've got people working and trying to really create something, and eventually the person gets really good at it. And I mean, I think I've got a lot better at music. I mean, back in the day I was just using a couple of sounds. I mean, now I'm just working on all different like aspects of musical tracks and everything. I've gone from doing keyboard work to doing digital work mainly. I had a horrible electrical shock a long time ago, back a couple of years back, and ever since then my hands haven't always done exactly what I want them to. It's really annoying because it's like I'll be playing keys and I like Jump by Van Halen. That was always my warm up. It was Jump by Van Halen, and it was the Doctor Who theme as well, because the way that it sort of isolates your hands is really good. Before I ever did anything like with my keyboards, I'd play Jump and I'd play the Doctor Who theme, but I can't play them now, and it really frustrates me. Nothing is as frustrating as that, because it's like when you hit the wrong key and you get really angry with yourself, and it just throws you out of a thing where you're able to be creative in that way. So I've kind of jumped away from using keyboards in this manner. I've actually got a couple of keyboards in my room which I don't generally use anymore. I bought some old sort of Yamaha ones, which interestingly enough I'd seen these keyboards at the when I was working with on the Mask of Thorn film. I saw these keyboards at the old school there, and I was like, wow, they are really cool keyboards. And so what I did is I wrote down what they were. I tried to get them to work while I was at the school, but they were completely dead and busted, which is a complete and total shame. But I wrote down what they were, and I tried to get similar models because I like the look of them. And I started playing them, and it feels good. And I still, the problem is like my hands still do these weird things occasionally, and it really gets to me. But I'm starting to get back into that, and maybe when I feel comfortable enough, I'll maybe do a couple more videos, you know, with some of the older keyboards and everything. I mean, what I really want to do is I want to be able to play multiple keyboards at the same time again, because it's like when I watch people like what's his name, Dave from umop.com, and I watch people like Kebu playing like all of these different keyboards and synths, and they're like my major inspirations. I just want to have keyboards everywhere and just play them, and even though music's kind of just a hobby for me, it's not my main thing at all. My job at the moment's an advertiser. I work in digital marketing. I'm really good when I'm working for other people, just not for myself, which is terrible. But you know, basically I'm happy with who I am and what I've created. Anyway, my other hobby is filming. I love camera work. I'm not very good at camera work, but that's usually because I'm in front of the camera, so I can't do all of the cool moving panning shots. At the moment, I'm shooting myself on a PXWX70, which I paid 2.4 grand for. It's a big kick in the wallet, but this is one of the best cameras I've ever owned. And my other one was like 3.5 grand a while back, and these are expensive pieces of kit. But I love this camera. This camera's good. It's what I use for my science fiction series, and quite frankly I can't see me ever trading her in for anything because I'm so happy with the results. So Sony, you've done an amazing job with this one. Anyway, in regards to like progression and stuff through the music industry, once I was working with hey, that's a cool sort of thing. Once I was working with sorry, this is actually distracting me. When I was working with low budget pictures, keep going there, I basically got a couple of people contacting me saying, oh, we heard your music for this film, we heard your music for that film, so basically can you do a bit of music for me? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And they're like, how much do you want to get paid? And I was like, I don't want to be paid, I just want to see my name on the big screen. And most of them haven't even sent me a DVD yet. But you know, I actually did some work on this film called The Green Goo, which is made by this guy called Max Hay, and he is completely and totally insane. And to be honest, The Green Goo is without doubt one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I love it. I was crying with laughter when I was watching it. The film is bad, but not in a bad way. It's like it's purposefully made to be so atrocious that it's so funny, because the thing is, it's like it's obviously filmed on a hugely small budget, you know, hugely small, that whole sort of polar opposite thing, but you know, it's made on a minuscule budget. And so what they did is they made it so corny and silly and weird and funny that the small budget didn't matter, the camera stuff didn't matter, everything was just a weird script, and it was just so much fun. The characters are weird, but the thing is, it was a film that really touched me, and I loved working on The Green Goo. I've actually got a copy of The Green Goo, and I've got a copy of the hidden other Green Goo, which I don't think was ever released, and I think he was working on a third one at some point. I would love to track him down and make him force him to make the other one if I ever got rich. Maybe pay someone as much as $15 each to come back and remake the film. But The Green Goo is a brilliant film, and I was really happy to work on that. And after that, just a couple of other people. I got involved with a company called Dead Good Films, which unfortunately caused a hideous problem for me because I did the score to a film called Mr. Rape's First Date, which got renamed to MRFD, but not before the damage was done to quite a few. Well, I think I was the only person who really got touched by that. But I had applied for a job to do some music with quite a big company, let's say, and they looked through my IMDb and saw Mr. Rape's First Date there, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't want to be involved with that." The very fact that Mr. Rape's First Date is actually, I see the film as being very anti-rape personally. It's disturbing, it's horrible, it's dystopian, it's got a very, very weird future, and it's made in a very, very, very special sort of style, and it is alienating, uncomfortable, and very, very disgusting. But the fact of the matter is it's not a film that I'm mega proud to have worked on. I found it very horrible. I didn't actually watch the film until it was completely completed. But the thing about it was that it's something that I've done, and I'm not ashamed of that. And quite frankly, the fact of the matter is, I just keep working on things here and there, and we all do crazy things in our career. It's like, at the moment, there's a couple of films that are being made in the background, one of which has been kept back for about 3 or 4 years now, but it's still being made, and I'm just waiting for them to send it to me. But there's a lot of the time I actually feel like most of the time I just don't want to make music anymore. I actually hate making music. It's very, very alienating for me. It's hard, and it affects you emotionally, because the thing is, when you're working and working and working constantly for loads of different people and everything, and you got all these melodies, and it's like, I was playing this amazing melody a while back, and I was just listening to it, and it was absolutely beautiful, and I thought, this is going to be the best thing ever, and it turned out to be a piece of music that had already been made, and I was playing it to key. Just trying to think what the name of the piece is. It escapes me at the moment. But anyway, that's why I couldn't remember what it was. But I've had that several times, and that's been really, really confusing. I mean, there's this one piece of music that I was writing as well, and it sounded really, 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 really good, and I was getting into it, and everything was great, and I was just like, oh my god, Bruce Faulkner and his studio wrote this. This is some music from Dragon Ball. So at least I notice. At least I know when I've accidentally plagiarised something. But it's not good, and it starts to affect you, because you start to become. I've got anxiety, and you start to doubt who you are and what you're creating, and a lot of the work which you do, you start thinking, hang on a second. There might be something wrong with this. I don't know whether or not I can trust what I've created. You know what I mean? It's very, very hard a lot of the time to, when you're creating something and you've got very little faith in yourself, because life keeps knocking you down. It's very hard to keep going and working and like creating something new, because you just think, no, I'm backing off from this, because I think I've done this, someone else has done this before, I don't want to get sued. I mean, dealing with this thing that I had to deal with a couple of years back, where a certain person contacted me, well, his legal team contacted me and said I was stealing his music. Yeah, well, my lawyer sorted that out very, very quickly. Excellent guy, Boris, as you can probably tell, very Russian, very, very full of anti my enemy hate, which was very, very good, and he sorted the whole thing out for me, which was great. That's another thing. Copyright House is a brilliant company that I signed up with. They've always supported me through everything, and I've not had to deal with any issues or crap since I signed up with them, really, because they've sorted out any copyright problems that I need to have. So I really appreciate Copyright House. I mean, all it takes is a call or an email, and life just gets easier. But the thing is, it was worth paying for a lifetime account. I highly recommend. I highly recommend them. In regard to everything, life's getting okay. I just need to just chill out, relax, and enjoy life a little bit more. I've started to sort out things with my home life as well. So, for example, at the moment, one of the main problems for me is my son lives with my ex-partner. That's not a problem really. I wish I could see him a little bit more. And what we've done now is we've just sorted out a proper schedule, and we're starting to work towards being able to have a really good and amicable future, which I think is really, really nice, because I get to see my son, and I'm going to get to FaceTime him a lot more, which I think is great. And basically, yeah, it's going to be good. So I'm working on all of that anyway. There's a lot that's going on at the moment. I really, 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 really wish that, my computer, my internet had the bandwidth for a much longer video. But I think what I should probably do is I will try and do a video log every now and then. If you've watched this video to the end, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. One thing I would like to ask is, if you have watched this video through to the end, what do you reckon I should reduce the my Bandcamp to? I really, really would like to know. Should I? I mean, what sort of price do you think would be worth paying for the entire discography? Because I'm going to have to bump down the internal prices a bit as well. I might even combine internal albums and then get rid of certain albums, just so that people have got more choice, because and more songs for the bang for the buck, should I say. Anyway, sorry, I'm just literally ranting and raving constantly, and it's I am sure that this is really stressful for you guys. But anyway, yes, if you have any questions for me, ask them in the comments section. I will get back to you, and if there's enough questions, I'll do a questions video where I talk about, where I respond to you. Or if you've got a really big, powerful question about the music industry, about me, or anything like that, I will try and make a video response, because I would like to get back into doing videos on this channel as well, and to give people something which they may not be getting normally, because it might just be a little alienating for me just to have constant music coming up. So, because maybe some people are here for me as well. I mean, the videos where I've had some of the videos which I've done, I've got a lot of comments, and I would like to have like an interaction with you, because you are the people who've supported my channel. You're the people who will support my channel in the future, and I think that it's important. And if there's anything that you think that I could do to improve my work, or anything that you think I could do to improve my channel, talk to me about it. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Thank you ever so much for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And all I can say is that the best way to get through anything in life is probably by not procrastinating, not doing something fun, getting all the hard stuff out of the way, and then just sit back and relax and enjoy everything. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. It's Mother's Day today, but this video is going to get uploaded tomorrow when I'm at work, or before I go into work, should I say, because basically I don't like using my home LAN for it, and the office has got multiple LANs, and so I can just upload it on there and no one feels it, whereas at home I don't want to lag out my family. Anyway, thank you ever so much for watching this video through, and yeah, if you've got any questions, just fire them at me. I can't wait. You take care, have a lovely day. Bye bye.